3,000? For the sake of everybody in the band, act like you got some sense.
Ain't do no but get up there and shake his ass. What we talking about?
Don't get out there playing it, okay?
What I do every night. That's all I know how to do, man. You know.
I ain't flew all the way overseas in the middle seat for us to get over here and up. Act like you got some sense. You might get a little bit of this here. Not money. This is hope money. I hope you get out there and do your thing. And check it out.
Hey.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Either you can fold that, 3,000. I'm telling you. Don't mess it up for everybody. Greyhound don't float on water.
Here in London for the first time to perform for you live, Johnny Vulture, Benjamin Andre, Dookie on drums, Possum Jenkins, and Andre Ice Cold 3000. Performing their smash hit, Hey Ya! Ladies and gents, I give you The Love Below.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Of course, this is HB, and you are watching Conversations with HB. Home-Based Poetry presents, obviously, and I'm excited because we got some great things to talk about. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to get back in the studio and do a show for you all. I was traveling all over the place, had the honor and the blessing to be able to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and spend time on Black Wall Street, Greenwood Street, right there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and get the real story of everything that happened. And I thought I knew what was going on and what occurred with Black Wall Street, just to find out there was a lot more I was missing, a lot more I didn't really understand. So I was happy to get that knowledge and that information. Even did a Facebook Live about it, so you could go to my Facebook page and check that out. But the history was absolutely amazing. And to know how many individuals, how many Black folks did such amazing things, from banks. I mean, over almost 200 small businesses, and to find out they were destroyed by airplanes because of racists in the area. And what I didn't know is that they rebuilt it just a couple years later, and it was existing until the 60s. So that was powerful knowledge and information. So really enjoyed doing that. Then I got a chance to go to North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and speak at a school there to a room of 200 millennials about business and entrepreneurship and growing. And the theme of my talk, I had 3 hours to train, and my theme was broke. That was the title of my training, was broke. And the concept was a lot of business training, and a lot of what we do is to make sure we're not broke. But in the process of making sure we're not broke, we need to also make sure we're not broken. Money means nothing if your soul is broken. Money means nothing if you haven't put things together, if you don't love life, if you're not enjoying the journey. Unfortunately, in the news over the last couple months, suicide has been all over the place. I mean, from the 8-year-old boy to the principal of the school who walked out of school after a teacher's meeting and committed suicide in his car. To Zack Snyder's daughter. I believe it's Zack Snyder, the director of the Justice League, who had to step away from that project. And excuse me if I got the name wrong. I think it's Zack Snyder. But stepped away from that project because he had to deal with his daughter's suicide just a month before. All the money in the world. And, of course, Chris Cornell, of the lead singer of Soundgarden, my favorite rock band in history ever. And to know that that was the case with him right after a performance, right after a show, went up to his hotel room and never left. So money isn't everything if your relationships aren't strong, if your spirit isn't right, isn't healthy, rather. Don't take right as a judgment. I'm not one of the fools that believe that suicide is cowardice. I think there's some other words for it. Whether if it's lonely, whether if it's not finding or knowing a way out, any of those things, but coward they are not. And knowing that my mother committed suicide. So, it's just definitely a topic that's very close to me. So we got to talk about that issue, and that was very, very helpful. And then after traveling in Oklahoma for 6 days and then 1 day back here, see my babies, kiss on them, then ride right back out to North Carolina for a day and then fly back on Saturday just to get ready for our amazing show on Sunday with Home Base Poetry. And let me give super shout outs to CC Peniston, who was our feature. She killed Home Base, and this platinum recording artist stepped outside her comfort zone, right? Platinum in the world of singing, but she did poetry at Home Base, and she was transparent, and she was real, and she was honest. And to be able to see that just really, really meant the world. Let me know that I could step out of my zone and do anything. There's nothing left for me in my comfort zone, and there's nothing left for you in yours. So are you willing to step outside them comfort zones and do something you're not used to doing, something that you never do? It was absolutely amazing. I got to give a shout out to Beat Locker. Luana was in the house, right? Real Talk with Luana. She stepped out her comfort zone and did an extremely transparent poem about her childhood. I mean, just really put it all out there. And, to see her do, she has been on the mic in a really, really, really long time. I met her on the mic, but she hadn't been there in a really long time. But she really stepped out and did her thing. Super proud of her. Exhausted from working all day, but she was committed. And I didn't let her off the hook. So whatever, right? You got to do it. So she did her thing. Was really proud of her. And then our guest for today was in the house, and it was such a beautiful and pleasant surprise. And we took a good looking picture too, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. That was a good looking picture we took. I'm just saying, just this young lady, just one of the pillars of the Arizona poetry scene, known nationwide. And took a little break from the poetry scene, focus on different things. We all do it, baby. No, I do. I have, right? And to have her back rocking the Home Base mic, I take that. It's like Happy Ramadan to, my Muslim family out here. But it's like breaking fast with somebody. That's a compliment. When you break fast, I want to break fast with you. When somebody tells you they want to break fast with you, that's a big deal. That's an honor. And I feel like she broke her poetic fast with Home Base. That means a lot. That was an honor. It really was. And she is in the house with us today, and we're about to chop it up. We're about to talk and find out what's been going on. Of course, I'm talking about Wisdom. Soul is in the house. Wisdom, how you doing?
I'm great. Man, HB, every time you get ready to put me on the mic, you got me like real emotional. Spirit is feeling me, and I'm like, okay, get it together, because I was about to lose it just now. So,
yo, it's real. And if the spirit is on you, let the spirit win,
and
Jack.
I'll tell you, and that's exactly what it is. So, just honored and blessed to be here. I mean, wow, that was huge. That's a huge compliment for real. Breaking fast, the way you described it.
It is. That's how I felt it.
Wow.
That's how I felt it. I was really honored that you chose
Thank you.
My spot as your safe place to do that. I know that's a strategic choice. So
Indeed.
Thank you.
Indeed.
It does
Thank
mean the
you.
world. Absolutely.
Yes.
It
Thank
was
you
so
for
much
the
strong
love.
woman
Love.
energy in there.
Yes.
It was strong.
The energy was really, really dope. Everybody, those of you who may know me from The Vibe. The Vibe is live. Right there. Yeah, right there.
They moving cameras on the road.
I'm very vibe sensitive.
For sure.
So, considering, and I know we'll talk more about it in my journey and how I took a fast, and that fast lasted 3 years. I wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
I was in 3-year retirement. So to be able to come out, and I was selective and strategic about it because I've been to a few spots, and they're all great. Blessings to everybody out here,
course.
doing your thing. Shout out to all the poets. But yeah, there could only be one.
Only one home.
The one we grew up with.
There you go. There you go.
We grew
Exactly.
up together. That's what it is. So,
Exactly. So thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for accepting the invitation to be on the
Thank you.
show just so we could catch up with you, man. It's a lot of people that love you here, not just in the Valley, but, everywhere. And you are improving yourself to be a very important part, your pillar of what has been built here in the community, without a doubt. So we're very thankful for you. I speak in truth. And
Indeed, always.
I definitely, speak in truth and want to give up props where props is due, without a doubt. So tell us a little bit about where you're from originally, how you got to Arizona, because that's always a fun conversation on this show. Because so many people are not from Arizona. You want to know how they get here, where they from, how that happened. So where you're from, how you got to Arizona, and then we'll talk a little bit about how, poetry started for you.
Sure. Okay, so I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, Queens, Bronx. My family's all through there. My parents separated, and we left New York and moved to a very, very small town on an Indian reservation in Montana, where I resided for 17 years. And that's where I gained my spiritual grounding. My grandfather, grandmother there, and the Crow Indian reservation. And grew up there and left for... went through high school, went through, again, spiritual grounding, I believe was the reasoning. My mother may not have known it at the time and realized it, but Spirit moved her to move me. And the last of 5, and I'm the only one who went, and then older sister went later. But speaking of older sister, she was going to come out to ASU, check out Arizona State University. I was supposed to come with. I didn't. And Mom came home and said, we're moving. And I needed to drive her. So that's what I did. Drove. I came kicking and screaming, to be honest with you. I thought I wanted to live in small town Montana the rest of my life.
Right. Wow.
No.
Wisdom in small town Montana. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that one.
Comfort.
Right.
Comfort. That's a key word. We will focus on that today. Comfort. So, comfort, friends and family, people, again, mind change, transformation, and we'll get into that as well. But came to Arizona was the best move ever for me. Arizona's been very good to me. All the people that say, I hate Arizona, trust me, I was there, you guys, for real. I would want to be out of here. And I've come to realize that it's not the place, it's you. Wherever you run, there you are.
There you go. Come on now.
So Arizona's been very good to me.
You heard that, right?
Yes, indeed.
Did y'all hear that?
Yes,
wherever
indeed.
you go,
wherever you go,
there you are. You hate where you at? It's probably not the where you at.
Yeah.
Because somebody happy where you at. I mean, it's like relationships.
Right.
Sometimes you be in a decent relationship, you just angry. It's like, somebody else would be really happy in your relationship. You better quit tripping.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
with that being said, Wisdom Soul was born in Arizona.
Nice.
And Arizona's been good for me. I've done a lot of things, got a plethora of, love, just the ability to be able to touch a lot of mics for major people. And it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing ever since. So that's where we're at right now.
How did poetry creep into your life?
I've been a poet all my life. I was born a poet. You know that.
Okay,
that's our blood. It's like your nationality,
When did it manifest the first time?
When I was 9.
Okay.
When I was 9, and I got into an argument with another friend over whose tribe was number 1. Being mixed African American and Native American descent. We're on the reservation, so whose tribe is number 1? I'm Halawa, Saponi, Carib, and Arapaho. They're Crow. So we went into that argument, and it just Spirit moved through me as to the poem, and I'm a lover of people. And I came to the realization at 9 years old of your tribe is not number 1, my tribe is not number 1. We are all number 1.
There you go.
And that was the first poem. I can't recite it all for you now, but
you don't remember the poem you wrote when you was 9?
Has that poem and resurface it to
you
me.
don't have it just
9. That was just a couple years.
You don't have what you wrote 4 years ago. Dang, that's crazy.
Right.
That's what's up. That's awesome.
What it was. It went from there. My teachers always, at that time through high school, were inspiring me. I should write a book, and I was like, I just do this because I just do it. It was my release. It was my friend, and that was it. I never really took it serious. I just love to do it.
What made you take it serious?
What's
his name? What's his name? No? Okay.
No, 19.
Because it was girls for me. It was shallow. No. I took it serious because the girls liked the love poems.
Yeah, and he was real good with them words.
It was 8th grade. It was 8th grade. What else am I supposed to be thinking about?
I remember when I first came in, and boy, you had them. Okay, we're going to leave that. For somehow I hear Mos Def, the song P-A-N-T-I-E-S. I don't know if I should just put it. I hear that in the background talking to you right now. But actually, because I wrote poetry all most of my life, somebody said you should go check out the spot. The sister's holding down an open mic, and I was scared to death. And I needed to release, and I said, let me go ahead and share. And it was about who I am and where I'm from, because growing up from a multicultural background, constant, what are you? do you mean? What am I?
Yeah.
You know. But it was really, what are you mixed with? What's your
Yeah.
nationality? What's your background? People want to know.
Yeah.
You know, hair texture, things like that. So, the poem was, "Who Am I?"
Yeah.
And yes, I do know that poem.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
remember
that's
you
where it
rocking.
started. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was where it started, and just was in love with the mic ever since. Just
And
in
where I
love.
met you, right?
Right, exactly.
Queen of Queens, shout out Queen of Queen Productions, right? It was
yeah.
rocking, doing it back
Yeah.
then. At the same time, we was doing ours at ASU.
yeah.
So we were really toggling between these two
Yep.
poetry sets. We had it rocking at ASU, then Queen of Queen came on board. They started doing theirs in Phoenix, and it was like cool. So it was a back and forth, man. We used to ship. So
House of Grooves.
House of Grooves,
House of
right? House of Grooves. That's where it was,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Queen of Queen Productions, House of Grooves.
You know, poetry's changed so
It has.
much since then, because we were all there. It was ASU or there. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then
We were a community. It was 50 of us
yes.
that you knew was going to be at each one,
yes.
no
and
matter
you
what.
went because of that.
You went because we was hanging out with friends.
Yes.
We was building that friendship
Yes.
and all that good stuff, which is, a lovely thing. I didn't know that you grew up on a reservation. I didn't know that till right
Yes.
now. I knew you had a connection.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because when everybody else was just doing the Native American stuff because it was cool.
Right.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's-
Because the
it's-
chokers were sexy.
Sure.
And then eventually they stopped. Wisdom didn't. It was like, you still rocking this
That's
stuff.
who I
It's like,
am.
no,
Yeah,
it's who
that's
you
who I
are.
am.
So that's,
Yeah.
man, I had no idea, especially so much time.
Right.
On the reservation. That's awesome to find out.
Right.
Yeah, that's really awesome to know. So, but you also, so you did the poetry, you kind of moved that agenda forward for a while. And tell me, you talked a little bit about how it was then. I love to. I know this is a passionate topic for you.
It is.
I know it's a passionate
It
topic for you, so I
is.
know I'm, releasing this Pandora's box, right? But I would like to hear your opinion, your feedback on,
Sure.
how was it back then? What was the spirit and things like that? And what are some of the changes that you have seen?
Well, first of all, back then, I at that time needed somewhere in my life. I was going through a very hard time in my life, and probably one of the most difficult times in my life, and that's when I was really starting to express and write and pen it out. So that was my outlet. And like HB said, he did it for girls, girls sometimes that are poets, you break our heart. We're going to talk about you on the mic,
Oh my God, don't I know that, bruh? Yo.
It's not always bad. Stop.
And look,
Stop.
And look, don't be the host that got to introduce the girl that wrote the poem about you.
Oh,
and
man.
oh
man.
oh, I have lived
man.
many lives, my
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Many lives. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, it really was fun. It really was fun.
It was fun.
We laugh about it now, but it was But bottom line was, back then it was a community, and even if your feelings were hurt, we had that general compassion for each other. We could all relate to each other. We all just showed love, even in the hard times. And if there was a slight disagreement anywhere, it was so minute and so quickly fizzled
handled
out.
it.
It was just like, hey, it's all peace. And that's why I agree always with peace, because that's what it has to be.
You're right. The goal was always peace
It
and
was.
synergy.
Right.
And because I think it also helped that our community was so small.
Yes.
So it wasn't like we were
Yes.
so big. We had
Right.
the luxury of
Right.
breaking off and splitting up
Right.
and beefing because we needed each other.
Indeed.
We really
Indeed.
did need each other.
Shout out to Russell Simmons and Def Jam Poetry.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do feel like once it became mainstream, once it became this is the life and you can make some money behind it, that's when egos started and people start tripping and just getting in ourselves. I mean, and we all do. I mean, I've done it. I know, and you don't realize you do it, So once money came into play, and look, trust, it's not really money, y'all.
Yo, we was just talking. I'm like, people beefing around poetry like they rappers.
Like poetry.
It's like it's
though.
poetry. You ain't never seen a poet on Cribs. Calm down. Do they even have Cribs no more?
Oh, man.
But you get my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ain't nobody.
By the way, excellent comedy idea.
Oh, you so silly.
Bunch of
Poets for
small-
Oh,
cribs.
let's do it. Let's do
Small
it.
town poets, we do cribs. Like, yo.
Put us in a house like Big Brother.
Oh my God. That'd be.
no.
Poets are way too emo.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
Way
they're
too
all
emo.
egotistical, and they all like think that they're the best.
Oh,
It's like some small
man.
town in Virginia.
Oh my God.
Man. Oh,
No, I don't have that kind of
man.
insurance. I don't have that kind of insurance. I'm not doing it. That's a setup. No, it's not
I've
gonna
worked
happen.
very hard to woo-saw and get where I'm at right now.
Exactly. I'm happy.
You
I'm in a
poets are
peaceful,
crazy.
happy place. You know, I got Kiwa over here.
Right.
You know, I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you. But no, so relax. Don't allow. Don't transition from a poet to a brand.
Ooh, we. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a brand,
Right.
but don't let that take away from you being a poet.
Right.
If that's what you're doing is being a poet.
Indeed.
Because you may lose the spirit in which that makes you worth listening to.
And if you're a poet, be a poet.
Do it. Have fun.
If you're not, it's all right. It's
It's
all
cool.
good. Just get up and have some fun.
It's cool to be somebody to
Don't
do
pretend.
poetry sometime. Ain't no wrong with that. Ain't no wrong with that. Lord
got a
knows
poem
I ain't
for
a
that.
singer, but you put the right song on. I'm rolling. So
Right.
that's too funny. So no, I appreciate that, you know what I mean, and that feedback and you just, you know, those different things. But you got other things going on. I mean, you're
Indeed.
definitely way more than when I met you. You was rolling in the Lex, you know what I'm saying? Right? You was always doing well. You know what I mean?
some may
Just
say.
yeah. I'm some. You was always doing well. Enough respect. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
So
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about some of your other ventures because I mean you've gone to school for health and wellness and just some different things. So
Sure.
who are you?
Okay. So before poetry, poetry always was, but before I actually started spitting poetry, I was in the music game for a little bit. I was promoting rappers.
Word?
And actually, I took on a young teenage group, 3 fellas out of Tempe High, and that was when New Edition BBD was really big. So my group, True Image, was doing very well, and they were going to go far. And just things happen, life happened. People had kids, get married, things like that. So it never went to the next level. So I started with the rappers, and no. I love y'all, but no, thank you. I'm good. So if we have to make sure that you sit still and not get arrested, I'm good. So that's when I was like, I'm a poet. Again, just come into poetry sharing. It was good to me. A lot happened for me in poetry. Like I said, that was my career. That was that for me. That was it. I worked corporate America, as HB said. I've always taken care of myself. I've always been independent. I've always handled my own biz. I bought a home, on my own.
Yep.
I bought my luxury cars, living that image. A lot of my friends are high profile celebrities. They come to town. I want to be able to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Pretty much is what that was. And that's a lot of what people do. And this is something I've learned in holistic healing. We try to be something more than we actually are. We don't let our spirit shine through, and our spirit really needs to shine through. We need to
Yeah.
allow that, not to be afraid of our spirit. I was afraid of my spirit for so long, and I needed these things. I needed the Lexus. I needed the Mercedes to make me.
Yeah.
Not really realizing that, God already made me.
God already made you.
And so did that. Poetry became real. It became, when I say real, I don't mean it in a good sense. I mean, it became real because it's emotional, because my feelings were hurt. Rocking the stage, organizing events, which is sure HB can relate to. Running a venue, it's very stressful, it's emotional, it's not easy. Everybody thinks it's the life. Everybody thinks it's glitz and glamour. They think you're rich. They think you're making money.
Don't they?
Nobody's getting paid but you, and you're taking advantage of everybody. And I'm gonna let you know. I'll be the first to tell you it's not like that at all. I really tried to show love to everybody, and just felt like love was not reciprocated in return, and that I was some kind of way showing favoritism. And after a while, started to hurt my ego. It started
For
to
sure.
hurt my feelings, and I was done.
Yeah.
I just, hearing this and hearing that. And the problem with poets, because we're so emotional and about our community, the underground community, the hip hop community, what we do is we talk about each other and then we tell on each other. You know, we don't go directly to the source and say, this is what it is, you know, let's have this conversation. There's a problem where I'm feeling some kind of way. You know, obviously a lot of us are immature in that area. So it takes a lot of personal development. It takes a lot of grooming. It takes a lot of growing, reading, bettering yourself to get to that point of realization. But I allowed it to beat me down.
Yeah.
The stage can either make or break you. And then I've just recently coming back into it, realized that the stage couldn't make or break me. It's me. It comes down to me. And that's really what it is with anything that you do. It's you. It's not everybody else. I was blaming. I was, this person or that person. And if they would have treated, it was me. I had to grow. So I grew. I left the poetry scene. I retired 3 years, and it was hard. I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of alone time. I isolated myself from everyone and everything, and I reached out to a community that embraced me the same way poetry community embraced me. And I was like, oh, these people are just like, they're weird, just like me. Like they're turned up. And it came down to health and fitness. And it's a healthy mind, healthy mind, eat right, think clear. I was 50 pounds overweight, so I lost 50 pounds, over 27% body fat. I was able to think clear.
I see.
It was real. It was real. But the journey, the journey was it was work. It was not easy, but it was so rewarding because while I was carrying around that stuff. Can I curse?
We grown.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm on the air. So, carrying around that crap, that shit that you're holding on in your stomach. So what I tell people all the time is losing weight isn't always the fat on your body. It's the shit you're carrying with you. It's in your stomach. Your stomach carries emotions. Your liver is the filter. We make ourselves sick. We get in our own heads. We create these lies. We create these stories. And I did a lot of healing. Did a lot of alone time, isolation. And it's lonely. When you're healing and you're growing, it can be very lonely, but you have to just
it's necessary sometimes.
Very necessary.
It's necessary. It's so many distractions out here and so much going on. If you don't take time to yourself.
You have to. I had to.
I've had to.
Yeah. Prayer and meditation is what kept me. And so where the tables turned is I woke up one morning, I felt a certain peace, a calmness over my spirit, and I felt spirit speak to me. You may call God, Allah, Elohim, Jehovah, the universe, whoever you call the Almighty. I felt whoever resonates with you in your gut, that's your spirit. We have two brains. That's we use that gut instinct. It's your spirit talking to you. The spirit said to me, I gave you youthful appearance, I gave you youthful attitude, and I gave you a gift. And now you can still get out there and get it.
Come on now.
And it's going to start with your weight. You're going to have to get healthy. I had high blood pressure. I had high cholesterol. I was severely depressed. And that's one thing we don't talk enough about. Depression is real. Is real. Pisces, Gemini.
You're right.
Dealing with my depression, most people don't know that I was a severe depressant on medication. And I was like, this ain't for me. This is for white people. Sorry, my white friends are watching. I love y'all. You still my people. I'm just saying. It's just not something that I'm accustomed to coming from Native American history. We have herbs and, healing medicines and stuff. That was a blow for me. And then when the doctor told me I was overweight, I knew I did lose a little weight. But when the doctor said I was overweight and told me these things that were happening to me, I had to take control of my life, take it into my hands. And that's where that journey began. So got with my family, my fit family, and they helped groom me, grow me, loved on me. And
come on now.
They held me up. Till I could hold myself up. And I haven't looked back since. I haven't looked back. So 3.5 years in the journey, it's been amazing. I have an amazing mentor, Marcus A. James, like a little brother, but just so far beyond his years, spirit grown. And not just him, the names, the list go on and on. I can't name everybody, but really helped for me, been my rock in this journey, and built the confidence back into me to step on a stage again. And that's where I'm at now. That brings me back to here. So
Come on now.
There it is.
Come on now.
Back at it. Home base was home. And it's like being that prodigal child, right? It's leaving and saying, oh man, I'm home. And I was nervous as hell, but it felt good. And I feel like I'm ready to do this again. So
that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Family. It's you talked about, and people don't realize the pressures of the public eye
Right.
just on this level. So I can't imagine what that other level is,
Sure.
that platinum artist level,
Right.
that actor, Grammy Award winning
Right.
level is, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because just on this level, it's intense. And I think you probably helped a lot. I'm sure that you will. This interview will help a lot of folks that's trying to deal with the people talking over here and this. People talk about other people that's more interesting.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And sometimes, and what I've learned as well, and this really clicked to me lately, that we fill in gaps. And when we don't know exactly what's happening or going on,
Right.
we take what we know, then we just fill in the rest of the gap. We just make up the rest of the shit. And so people would make up your life.
Right.
They would make up stories
Right.
about you.
Right.
And it's like,
man.
that's not, what are you talking about? That's
Oh,
never,
my God,
just because
wait.
they don't know. And they
Wait.
feel like because we don't know how to say, I don't know.
Right.
I need y'all to be
right,
okay with saying I
right.
don't know. You don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. Stop trying to fill in these gaps. You know what I mean?
We
and
had
that
a gap.
happens all the time.
We had
a gap.
people talking about me and HB were beefing. HB, are we beefing?
Right.
He was like, no, we're not beefing. I was like, okay, that's the word on the street. We're beefing.
And what people don't understand is a disagreement ain't beef.
Right.
I'm from Chicago. I'm from the West Side.
Right.
Beef is I found out your work schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Crawling in through your window.
Yo, we got the family duct taped in the basement. Like, that's beef. This ain't beef.
Right.
This
right.
ain't this little stuff. This is just little disagreements.
Right.
But adults disagree.
Right.
Adults will find themselves on the opposite sides of a debate. And being able to bounce back from that and recover from that and move on from that,
Right.
that's just called maturity. This ain't, if we not loading up no straps, this ain't no beef.
Right.
If we ain't like, yo, look, if I don't come back,
Right.
boom, ain't nobody beefing with me if I'm not worried about my health and
True
well-being.
indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you figured this out
Yeah.
and you went out your solution was not in your comfort zone.
Right.
You went outside your comfort zone. You allowed yourself to be open. Imagine if you wasn't open
Right.
to a new circle of people. If you thought you had it figured out, but you was open, and that's where your solution lied.
Indeed.
And now you come back better, spirit brighter,
Yeah.
right? That's the beautiful thing about knowing people for so long. I know you through the phases,
Right.
and we could see each other. Like, you all right? Or you look great. Like when we
Right.
say,
And
are you
people
all
can
right?
see. People
It's
can
because
see.
we, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know. And you look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Your spirit is absolutely beautiful.
you.
It is good to see you. It's good to have you
God.
back on the scene.
Thank you.
Right? We're honored to have you. And I'm excited to get to know the new you.
I'm excited too.
Right?
Yes. Thank you, HB.
Absolutely. I mean it.
Yeah.
Family, we got to allow people to grow. We got to allow people to become better. We got to not hold people to their past selves because we don't want nobody holding us to our past selves.
Right.
We want the opportunity to grow and learn and get better and develop. But that means we have to allow that for other people as well. And we got to be willing to let go. What you holding on to for? I was talking with someone about my business. I was like, I'm the vice president. I don't have the luxury of grudges.
Right.
When you're in a leadership position, you don't have the luxury of holding grudges.
Right.
You have
Right.
to be fair
Right.
and deal with people. So are you allowing people to grow, develop, or are you still holding them to who they used to be? And mad because people are doing the same to you. Mad because people are holding you
Right.
to who you used to be and you just want to grow. You're just trying to grow. But what spirit are you putting out there for other individuals? Are you beefing and don't even remember why you beefing? Are you mad at somebody and can't even put your finger on why you was mad at them in the first place? Is it possible y'all just disagreed and it's okay to disagree? Or maybe they really did wrong, but maybe you really did wrong too. Or maybe you misinterpreted the wrong. Or maybe they did wrong and they apologized. You ain't got to make him your best friend, but you could let it go. Who are you?
Huh.
Who the fuck? I'm trying not to just go
Yeah,
ham.
I hear it.
Who are you
It's real.
to condemn somebody for the rest of their lives? You ain't earned it.
It's real.
You ain't earned that right. I haven't earned that right. And I work on it. But we got to learn to let go, people. Because the more we hold on to that, to somebody else's stuff, the more we own their issues, the less chance we have of going to get what's destined for us in the future.
Mm-hmm.
How they say you can't steal second with your foot on first.
Man.
You got to let go. Hey, thank you for being on the show. I'm getting on FaceTime. I'm FaceTiming with
That's
y'all so y'all
awesome.
can see this
That's
whole thing.
awesome.
I'm getting
HB's
off.
awesome.
Y'all could go look at this, but we're going to do the full thing. We're going to make it available to you, but this is just a little something, a little taste. Bye. All right. Now I'm back with y'all. It's too many cameras. I can't keep up. It's crazy. Technology. 2017. What are we doing?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For being here. Thank you for sharing. The most important thing, how can people stay in touch with you? If they want to follow and know what's going on in the world of wisdom, how do they do that? Let the people know.
I have 2 major Facebook sites, social media. The first one's pretty much full, so you can Wisdom Soul. Wisdom Soul is one word on Facebook.com. I'm Wisdom Soul Coaching on Instagram, Wisdom Soul Coaching on Snapchat. I'm always on. I want to talk to anybody who wants to step out of their self, who wants to step into their self. You know, step out of yourself to step into yourself, moving yourself out of the way. Certified life coach as well. Just getting past the issues. I've been there. So please do reach out to me. Let's see, where else? Soul Fit 24 is the other Facebook page. That's my holistic health, wellness, nutrition, fitness coaching. If you're trying to reach some goals, I'm going to help you get there. I believe that you should be living life passionately, full of love. And as HB said, letting go, it's so much healthier. If you're feeling any kind of ailments, it could be a lot to do with what's in your mind that you're putting into your soul. So that's pretty much it. Wisdom Soul Coaching and Soul Fit 24, fitness for your mind, body, and soul.
There you go. She's awesome. Make sure you stay plugged into her and also stay plugged into Home Base. We have updated the website, everybody. Homebasepoetry.com is sexy. We put a little sexy veneer on it, and it's absolutely awesome. And we have an entire page dedicated to Conversations with HB right there. So check us out at homebasepoetry.com. You can also contact me through the page as well. Whatever I can do for you, and whatever you want to know, learn poetry-wise, business-wise. As you all know, I do great things with Legal Shield, my company, business training, entrepreneurship, yada, yada, yada. But whatever, let's talk. Let's chat it up a little bit. Send me a message. I love to communicate, love to make new friends, love to broaden my circle because I understand that my net worth is determined by my network. So I love to have great people that I get to build great relationships with. Thank you all for checking us out, everybody. And I think that's it. That's all. We're out of here. Check us out on the next show. Wisdom.
Hey.
Thanks for being here, babe.
Thank you.
Love you. You
Love
know it.
more.
Peace.
Peace. That's fun.